Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3425. Today's date is 23 May 2025. It's been almost like a night at 8:10 p.m. All right, we directly jump to the question. All right, let's go. Wait, shit. Just sorry for this wait. Probably like okay, now it's loaded. All right, yeah. Question is, what are some low risk business ideas suitable for business in India? Okay, that is a really good question. Okay, yeah. So regarding about this question, okay, first of all, where is this question and why do you ask this question to yourself? All right, yeah. First of all, is that I wanted to establish a business in the future, and I don't really know how to do business. I don't really know how to do anything regarding about business. Nothing really at all. I haven't really done graduation. I haven't really done any MBAs or nothing really at all. I have zero sense regarding about business and business strategies and nothing really at all. But I have an idea, and it's not my business. It's a kind of like something I wanted to business my. I wanted to kind of like I have my idea, and I wanted to kind of like execute my idea to the people probably. Okay, yeah, and but what is actually your idea? Okay. So I don't know, like every time I'm kind of like talking about this, but still, okay. Okay, what is actually my idea? Okay, so first of all, is that the things that you are actually hearing is called artifact episode. Okay, what is actually artifact episode? Artifact episode means like that a kind of like actually people who actually wrote some sort of diary every night. Okay, this is what exactly is it like. Instead of writing, I'm just change into the recording, audio recording. Okay, and it's pretty cool. Okay, and I'm kind of like doing this kind of like artifact, this stuff from last 10 year. Okay, yeah, it adds so much value inside of me. My thought process are improved, my decision makings are improved. I like basically it just kind of like a upgrade to me. I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing, but probably is it because still is this thing you think that I'm really focal person from probably like a focal person kind of like a said something like a really fucked up stuff. Yeah, you could say that, but I know that the where I belongs to, what I went through, and where I came from, and what I'm kind of like a something convert right now. It's completely very different thing, and these are all changes are actually happen is because of the artifact. That is true. Whatever, I am not trying to convince this idea to you, but I'm just trying to tell the idea first of all. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing that this is my kind of like a something like, is it idea? No, it's a kind of like a something telling about the artifact. Now let's tell me the idea. Okay, yeah. So my idea is that like right now I'm doing this thing, and because of it gives me a lot of kind of like values and stuff like that. I decided that what if I could make an app so that people will gonna record their artifact. It's kind of like a something a YouTube app application. Means like that in a YouTube platform you're gonna kind of like a something watch the video on YouTube platform, or you could upload your video on YouTube platform. Okay, yeah. Same thing happened in artifact. Like a artifact, instead of kind of like a simply watching the video, you won't be able to watch the video. You listen the artifact. Okay, yeah, you listen the artifact, someone artifact. Okay, someone gonna record the artifact, you're gonna listen those artifacts. Okay, or else you wanted to kind of like simply record your own artifact. You could record your own artifact and you could upload that artifact in my artifact app. I don't know, I'm kind of like a mentioning artifact multiple times, but this is what it is. Okay, yeah. A kind of like a something YouTube. Okay, yeah. If you wanted to kind of like try to understand, it's exactly like YouTube. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to establish this app. Okay, yeah. So this is my kind of like a something idea. Now regarding about question says that what is actually the minimum risk? like what is actually minimum risk idea that you wanted to establish in the, yeah, what is actually the minimum risk? First of all, let's talk about what is exactly the risk that you would get in while building this app. What is actually the problem that you will gonna face while building this app? um okay, risk, problem, there are a lot of problem I will gonna face in this thing. What is actually that? First of all is that ki money, yeah, money is one of the biggest issue in every business, in every startup. It's a kind of like a semi startup, yeah, I want to establish a startup, it's a startup, yeah. So money, funding is one of the kind of like a biggest problem. And how do you supposed to solve that problem? Yeah, because like money required a lot of things. Okay, like you won't be able to make your app by yourself. Yeah, like you might be like a by building the AI and things like that, but if you wanted to execute app in kind of like assembly for like at least 100 for people, like basically you need at least like at least couple of people maybe. Okay, yeah, those are really expert in building app and things like that. You won't be able to do all those things by on yourself, nothing really at all. So probably you need to hire some sort of people. Okay, not really that much, but some sort of people. And if you wanted to hire those people, you have to give them money. Yeah, probably they will not gonna work for free to you, so you have to give them money, a salary. Okay, yeah. So where that salary or money came from? Okay, yeah. All right, that is a really good question. So I am a YouTuber. Okay, yeah. I have 1,400 something subscriber on YouTube platform. In Instagram, I have almost like a 12,000 follower on Instagram platform. I'm not really earning any money, by the way, but within a year I might gonna start some sort of money. I'm not really sure, but some sort of money I will gonna earn from this kind of like a social media platform. And whatever the money that I will gonna earn from this social media, I have to invest that money on my startup, on my the business, on my application. Okay, yeah, means like that whatever the money that I should supposed to be earn, I have to be kind of like use that money to give them people a salary or hire some sort of people who are really expert in this publishing idea, publishing apps or things like that. So yeah, but is it enough? Like basically this is that the money that you will gonna earn from this social media, is it enough to give them salary? Well, probably not. Okay, yeah, because at the beginning might be I'm gonna earn at least like a 10,000, 20,000 rupees per month probably from the YouTube AdSense. Sponsorship, I don't know, but like sponsorship takes time, at least like a 2-3 year probably. Yeah, like if I have to be continuing this my social media game, then probably after a 2-3 year I might gonna get sponsorship. When you get the sponsorship, you gonna get like a lot of money, then money talk. Okay, then like you will actually earning almost like a 4 to 5 lakh rupees per month. Then this might be a kind of like a very different game then. Yeah, but till now I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of fucked up situation, and probably the money is like a really big problem. All right, yeah. So how do you kind of like assembly execute this thing? Well, first of all, is this thing na ki like I'm not kind of like assembly trying to be very hurry for all those things that I have to do those things right now, right now. No, nothing really at all. Okay. First of all, I just have to focus on myself. I just have to understand myself. I just have to understand that key, like basically whatever this app will it be kind of like a something very good for them or not. Okay, yeah, I have to be very 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 sure about this thing, because like very sure about everything, like every possible result, that there are multiple things will gonna happen. Like I have to be kind of like a calculate the every possible result that I might gonna fail. Okay, and I have to figure it out that what kind of like a something mistakes that should aren't supposed to be happen. Okay, as well as another thing is that key I have to be understand the business stuff too. That's why I'm kind of like asking this business to myself. Okay, and try to figure it out how, what should I supposed to do. As well as I'm trying to take kind of like a some business, some sort of lesson on YouTube platform. Like there are so many people who are kind of like telling about, talking about business, how do you establish a startup, how do you establish a business and things like that. there are kind of like some tutorial or kind of like some study material over there. So I am kind of like some reading it, not reading, I'm just kind of like some watching those while doing my work. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of thing. Okay, but regarding about the risk, money is a kind of like a thing that I realize, and solving about this problem, financial problem. What kind of like a stuff that you do, that you already established, you already mentioned that key, like you will gonna pay money through your kind of like some social media and things like that, but it will take time. It will take at least like 5 year. Yeah, it will take almost like a 5 year to like yeah, just minimum amount of 3 to 4 year is a like, yeah, 3 to 4 year is, yeah. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of thing, but I have to be keep faith in myself and I'm gonna do that thing. Okay, yeah. But dude, now it's just like that I'm thinking about a kind of like a really wide perspective regarding about the financial and risk and what is actually problem that I might gonna face. Okay, yeah. So today I'm gonna talk about all those financial thing. Okay, yeah. Like what is actually the money would be kind of like a some problem, and how do I supposed to execute that particular problem. Okay, yeah. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, yeah. I have kind of like a couple of steps that I should supposed to be execute for building my startup and things like that. Okay, yeah. So what is exactly steps? First of all is that ki I have to be upload content every single day. By the way, my content is a graphic designing Photoshop. This is my kind of like a simply my content. Okay, yeah. And I am kind of like uploading my content every single day on social media platform. Okay, Instagram and YouTube platform. Every day on YouTube platform I'm getting almost like 1,000 views. Okay, almost like eight, yeah, 1,000 views, like probably like no, not 1,000 views, like almost like a 900 views, 900 to 1,000 views. Okay, yeah, probably like these are kind of like a variable, but every day. Okay, like basically today I get like a today just uploaded the video, so probably right now I have almost like a 235 views right now, because right now it's almost like a 8:22. Okay, and I just upload my video at 7 p.m. So probably it takes at least like a couple of time, but yesterday I uploaded my content and it went almost like a 927 views, so which is good, which is great. Okay, yeah. So and Instagram platform I'm getting average view almost like a maybe 2,000 to 2,500. Yeah, 2,000 to 2,000 to sometimes it went almost like a 3,000 or something like that, but these are kind of like views that I'm getting. Okay, yeah. Regarding about the subscriber, okay, yeah, in YouTube platform I'm getting almost like a wait, let me check. In where is my YouTube studio? All right, yeah. So this is my YouTube studio. It takes time to load. Okay. Okay, yeah. So regarding about in YouTube platform, I'm gaining almost like a probably 1 or 2 subscriber every single day right now. Okay, yeah. Like basically my graph is actually showing me 1 and 2 subscriber. So probably I'm taking almost like a maybe 1 subscriber per day. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like basically I'm getting almost like a 1 subscriber per day on YouTube platform. In Instagram platform, wait, let me check, because Instagram platform now it's a kind of like actually very difficult to find out, because the kind of like some analytics are not really that much clear right here, but still I have some sort of stuff to do. Wait, how do I suppose right here? Okay, yeah. Okay, so regarding about follower on Instagram platform, I'm getting almost like a maybe 50, yeah, probably 40 to 50 follower per day on Instagram platform. So is it good? Like it's not really that good. Like if I try to, I don't know. Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is this thing: the social media platform is a kind of like a something growth for exponential. Like basically, if I'm just keep consistent and keep uploading my content without any kind of like gaps and things like that, the the growth will gonna exponential. Okay, yeah, like someday it will gonna be, but I just have to be more focused and kind of like be consistent, things like that. All right, yeah. So yeah, but this is kind of like a only practical step. Okay, yeah. But let's talk about the future. That like this is kind of like a stuff that I'm doing. Okay, yeah. But when I'm start earning some sort of money from social media platform, like when will you start earn money from the social media platform? Like what is actually kind of like a somebody expected a date that you might gonna earn like a some certain money, like a maybe like a 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, whatever. Okay, yeah. So probably it will take another year too. Yeah, like this year. Okay, yeah, this year it will take this year. Means like that ki I don't know, I'm exaggerated too much, I'm not really sure, but it will take a year. Yeah, basically is this thing, I started uploading my graphics designing content on YouTube and Instagram platform from last year. Means like that I started this thing at May 2024. Okay, yeah, and today is April 2025. So no, it's a yeah, April, May, it's a May. Okay, is it May? Yeah, it's a May 2025. So probably uh like basically 1 year completed. Okay, yeah, at least another year required to me to earn some sort of money. So probably is this thing May 2026 I might gonna earn some certain amount of money from the YouTube and Instagram platform. Okay, yeah, and I'm not really expecting so much. I'm actually expecting almost like a maybe uh 500 to 1,000 rupees. Okay, which is not enough for kind of like I wanted to move to Pune. Okay, yeah, why Pune? I think that na ki if I wanted to establish my startup or business and things like that, I have to go to the metro city. Okay, yeah. Bombay is like is not the city that I want. Okay, yeah. Like I'm thinking about a lot of things. Like why should I go? Like let's go to the Bombay. Yeah. But probably is this thing na ki everything is expensive over there. Okay, yeah. Like I'm not gonna say that ki Pune is not expensive. Pune is also really expensive, but as compared to Bombay, little less expensive. Okay, yeah. And I don't really like Bombay too. Yeah, yeah, bro. It's a kind of like a thing. Okay, and I'm kind of like always been a kind of like a sort of person goes towards the Pune. So I wanted to go to the Pune. Okay, so basically is this thing since I earn some sort of amount of money, probably I have to go to Pune. Okay, yeah. So when will you go to Pune? Obviously after I earn some sort of money from social media. But when? Probably December 2026. Yeah, till December 2026. That means another year, like yeah, like 1.5 year after. Yeah. So then I went to Pune. Okay, yeah. What exactly money do you really require to go to Pune? Okay, yeah, like just monthly salary. Like monthly some the money that you will earn from the social media, like how much money do you require to go to Pune? Well, if I want to go to the Pune, then probably I need at least like regarding about rent and kind of like something the food and rent, I'm thinking about just both essential thing. um Almost like a 10,000 rupees of like a 8,000 rupees of rent and probably 3 to 4,000 rupees of food. So probably round figure 15,000 rupees for survive in Pune. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna live like alone. No, definitely not. I'm kind of like a taking my friend Prashik. I'm taking with them. Like I'm thinking that I didn't really ask him, but I will gonna ask him that will you come to the Pune for me? Okay, Pune with me so that yeah. And also yeah, talking about the Prashik, I also think that Prashik is also only one person that will gonna help me regarding about establish my business and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. Why Prashik? Why Prashik? Like yeah, it's a really good thing, and like basically this is thing like you have to be realize. Okay, yeah. Also let's talk about one of my friend Prashik. Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure, I didn't really ask him, but probably is this thing I knew him very well. Okay, I knew him since the second standard. And yeah, another thing is that he um, he's kind of like a study right now. He's kind of like a doing competitive exam right now. Okay, yeah. And I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm not really sure that like probably Prashik will gonna help me regarding about this establishing my business or not. I'm not really sure about that. Okay, yeah, because there are a lot of things will gonna happen in the future, and I might need to figure it out a lot of things. Okay, yeah. And as also Prashik has this also another plans too regarding about his life. Like basically, like if I'm gonna say that will you come to the Pune and kind of like help me to establish my business and things like that, I'm not gonna ask her directly. Okay, yeah, because he has lot of plans too. Okay, yeah. And as also we are at like me and Prashik, as well as like I don't really care about my life, but probably Prashik would, because Prashik is also kind of like a some same age range, and we have a lot of responsibility regarding about families like a marriage and something like that. So yeah, I'm bit really courageous regarding about taking risky decision, but I don't really think that Prashik would do the same thing, but I don't know. Yeah, so right now thinking about Prashik is a somethingly not good idea right now. In the future, if I like basically I will depend on that future. Okay, yeah, like basically if he is really kind of like a somebody such a person that he's okay with this thing, then probably yeah. Because let me tell you one thing now, establish this business, it does really require a kind of like a somebody that something like that a belief that it could be kind of like a something successful. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing na ki like success means like success doesn't comes like a directly, nothing really at all. Like basically I will gonna face a lot of challenges and failure and things like that, and the people who are with me in this particular journey, they will gonna face that particular problem and failure and things like that. Okay, yeah. In this particular failure, sometimes failure are so much that probably I'm gonna lose everything. Okay, yeah. So basically I do know that even if I lose everything, I will gonna still try, I will gonna still build my app and things like that, because I have belief and faith inside of me. Okay, I'm not gonna say that kind of like a something the same belief for kind of like a something for Prashik and things like that, because yeah, like I don't know. Like, there is a lot of gonna problem gonna happen. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. Let's figure it out in the future. Okay, I'm gonna like figure it out that like if this kind of like assembly, then I will. Okay, I'm not really sure about Prashik, but in the future I will gonna talk to him regarding about that. Okay, yeah. If the Prashik is not convinced, uh, then I have to be asked to Prachi. Okay, yeah. Why Prachi and who is Prachi? Okay, so Prachi is also one of my friend, and she's also live in Pune. Okay, yeah, she's Badal fiance by the way. Badal is also one of my friend. Okay, yeah. But why Prachi? Because I think that na ki she has kind of like a same thought process, might be because of that ki regarding about helping me, like basically she is also doing little bit of graphic designing and something like that. Okay, yeah. uh, might be her kind of like a something quality of intelligence might be kind of like a some helping me to establish my business and things like that, but still I'm not really sure. Okay. I don't really, I don't want to incorporate kind of like a some people who is like I'm just guessing. No, it's not. Okay, yeah. But still I really required kind of like a somebody such a person that I kind of like a somebody very close to me. Okay, a kind of like a somebody person that I knew from the beginning. Okay, yeah, that like I need a kind of like a somebody person who will not gonna kind of like a something just like a throw it on the road. Nothing really at all. I just need a kind of like a somebody a very trustful person. Okay, yeah. And Prashik and Prachi, those are two person that I am kind of like a something always thinking about those. Ki Prashik would be or Prachi would be kind of like a somebody person who will gonna help me regarding about establishment business and something like that. But still, it's in the future. Okay, I don't know what will gonna happen, but yeah. Uh Okay, but regarding about Pune, let's talk about the Pune. Okay, yeah. So you need at least like a 15,000 rupees for surviving in Pune. Yeah. Will you earn that much amount of money from social media? Somewhat, yeah. Like basically in the next year, I might gonna earn some sort of money. So I would probably earn like a 20 to 25,000 rupees from social media probably, and I will gonna go to the Pune. Okay, and definitely I have to go to with Prashik, okay, because I won't be able to afford the rent. So probably Prashik will gonna help me. But if he has another plans, then I have to be kind of like a simply go alone, or maybe I have to be go with my sister. Okay, because she also planning to do kind of like a something that key some sort of classes to the Pune. Okay, like she also kind of like a somebody doing competitive exam, and Pune is a kind of like a something great place to study and kind of like a do the competitive exam. So probably I'm not really sure. Okay, but I have to be go someone with. Okay, if Prashik is my first priority, if he is not, then probably I have to go with my sister. Okay. Uh okay. So regarding about financial, probably is this thing that ki you need 15,000 rupees, okay, to go to the Pune and surviving things like that. If you go alone, okay, if you went with your Prashik, then probably the prices will be less. Okay, but if you go with the sister, then prices would be up. Okay, how much prices, like a basically just like a basically just guess how much money, like if you went with your sister, then how much money would you need it? If I went with my sister, then probably I have to take care of my sister too, so probably the rent and everything would be cost like a 20 to 25, because I'm not just going with my sister, like I also bring with my mother too. Okay, so probably the three people, then me, my sister and my mother, so probably three people, so it cost probably almost like a 20 to 25,000 rupees per month. Okay, will I able to kind of like a simply survive on that particular amount of money? uh 20 to 25,000 rupees, yeah, it, like I would definitely gonna survive in Pune for 2025. Okay, whatever. Okay, so okay, just imagine that if you went there with your like a family or with your friend. Okay, let's just case scenario that you went with your friend. Okay, like a Prashik, if you went with a friend, like a basically the Prashik is actually convinced that he is kind of like some helping you to establish the business and things like that. Okay, and you both went to the Pune. Okay, so what will gonna challenges that you will gonna face? Okay, and what is actually what is actually the Prashik will gonna do the kind of like a some job for you? What kind of like a Prashik will gonna help you? Well, okay. Like, what is actually the what is actually the steps that I should supposed to do it? Okay. Regarding about the building app, first of all, is that na ki right now I am also trying to build the app. Okay, means like that. What I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I am kind of like a simply uploading my content every day on social media platform, as well as I'm kind of like a learning about how to build the app. Okay, um like a basically is this thing, I'm not really pro yet, I'm just try to take kind of like some sort of classes. I'm kind of like a helping artificial intelligence to build some sort of app and things like that, and try to figure it out the stuff and stuff like a like Kotlin and Java and kind of like a code sense, yeah, all those things. Like basically you are living in 2025. Why don't you use AI? Dude, I am using AI. Yeah, I am using like every codes that I'm doing is using AI. Okay, I'm not writing any codes, but still after I use AI, I still really require what is actually meaning of those codes. Okay, yeah. I just need to understand what is the meaning of that particular code. Like basically is this thing na ki if I can't really draw the elephant, but I should supposed to be know what is actually the elephant. So this what is exactly is this thing. Okay, yeah. Like I don't really write the code, but at least I need to know what is actually meaning of that code. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like basically it's a lot of trial and error. Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to do this thing, but uh, if you're gonna establish your app, okay, yeah, right now, like in the Wardha, like you are living in Wardha, so how much chances would you gonna make the app by on yourself? uh okay, so I make a login page. Okay, yeah. I make login page. I make home page. Okay, yeah. It function, yeah, it function properly, yes, yeah. I just make two pages. Okay, I make login page. Okay, login page is like that. Welcome, and basically the welcome, when you press the welcome, there is a login screen. Okay, yeah. If you have a login, then put the login and kind of like a login. Okay, yeah. If you wanted to sign up, there is a sign up button. You press the sign up button, then you went to the sign up, then probably add your name and date of birth and things like that, email ID, and then you sign up. Okay, yeah. And then you went to the another page, is a home page. Okay, yeah. So till this now, I kind of like design that thing, but still in the login process, I think that there is a lot of problem in there too. Okay, yeah, because login credential is not really that safe. Probably, I'm not really sure. I'm trying multiple ways, but still there is a lot of problems. But yeah, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, as also I didn't really have any previous knowledge regarding about the codings and things like that, so I am doing by myself. Like, I'm understanding, I'm trying to figure it out, codes, and try to know what is the meaning of those, and kind of like doing all those YouTube things. Okay, like basically, if I get any kind of like a problem regarding about codes, or if I don't really know regarding about any codes, I just straight go to the YouTube and kind of like a search for what is actually meaning of that code, and yeah, watch a bunch of videos and something like that. So yeah, it is a lot of thing. Okay, and simultaneously I'm doing content creation too. So yeah, it is kind of like a problem. But if the question is that ki, would you gonna build any kind of like a something app, or kind of like an entire app by yourself through the artificial Indian, like how much would you kind of like something consider, like how much would you get success rate if you do this thing? I don't really think that, like, even if I build app by myself in Android Studio entirely, but it is like there is a lot of problem. Okay, what is the problem? Because let me tell you one thing, the artifact means like that, like basically it's a kind of like some YouTube now. Okay, yeah, a YouTube means like that ki, like let's just understand the YouTube, what is that, like basically my app is exactly like a YouTube. Okay, yeah. So let's just understand what exactly YouTube works. Okay, so basically if I kind of like somebody make a kind of like a video and upload that video on YouTube platform. Okay, yeah, then basically other people will gonna see that particular video. Okay, yeah. So probably is this thing, a YouTube is kind of like a save your video at somewhere. Okay, data center, right? So I have to be access the data center, so that means I have to pay some sort of money to the domain or provider, or to the data center, that can give me some sort of space, so that I would kind of like save some sort of artifact. So I don't know. Okay, regarding about the data center, like I won't be able to build my own data center, like I won't be able to afford that. But still I will gonna hire the data, I will gonna kind of like a rent some sort of data center. What is actually the rent? Okay, so basically what exactly happened? Okay, yeah. So Google and YouTube has a kind of like a simply own the entire data system. Okay, yeah, they own their data system, means like that key, the data center means like that whatever the data that YouTube has, it kind of like a stored in some sort of center, some sort of kind of like a simply storage, massive, almost like a millions of terabyte and things like that over there. Okay, yeah. And they own, like a YouTube own their data center. Okay, yeah. But some of the kind of like a something a business or startup, they don't really have any kind of like a data center, so they just rent data center from Google, or kind of like a somebody another kind of like a some third party, so that it's a kind of like a somebody renting some sort of storage, and we are actually giving them some sort of money for that particular storage. It's kind of something like that. Okay, yeah. I don't know how do I supposed to access that data center. Okay, yeah. And I don't know how do I supposed to integrate that data center into my app, and the connection between that particular thing will be really smooth. I am not really sure how this is gonna happen. Okay, I don't really have any of information. I don't really have any of that thing. I don't know how do I supposed to execute. I just don't really have any knowledge regarding about how do I supposed to execute that thing. Okay, yeah. Another thing is that okay, so this is kind of like a some problem. So even if I kind of like a something make some sort of app, probably I don't know. Yeah, like basically is this thing, first thing is that I won't be able to do this thing by myself. Okay, I really require a kind of like a something a person that who is kind of like a somebody expert in that particular field. Okay, in building app and things like that. Okay, yeah. So that's why I just have to go to the Pune, and I'm gonna hire a kind of like a somebody person who is a really expert in that particular field. Okay, yeah. Who do you think that person would be? Okay, who do you think that person would be? Okay. Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing I am taking a kind of like a something classes from a teacher. Okay, let me tell you her name. Probably, do I have that or not? Wait, wait. I have like I just forgot her name, but I have her name. Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? Oh, probably I don't really have it. Yeah, or maybe I have it, or maybe I'm just missed it. Okay, yeah. Her name is just something like a Sheetal or something like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, Android Studio codes. Okay, these are the GitHubs by the way. Okay, yeah. VFX, Artix, Sound, National History. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing I am kind of like a somebody taking some sort of kind of like a somebody classes from that particular teacher. Who her name is Sheetal. I'm not really sure her last name, but she's a really good. Okay, yeah. And I think that she would be a kind of like a somebody person, would be a kind of like a somebody credible person, so that she would kind of like execute my app. Okay, yeah. But I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah, because let me tell you one thing. If I wanted to hire a kind of like a something such a person who is like a really expert in that particular thing, obviously she will gonna charge heavily, literally heavily. And you are kind of like a barely able to survive in Pune. Probably you have almost like a 20-25,000 rupees for surviving in Pune. So hiring that particular woman, that girl is like I don't know, it's very expensive or something like that. I am not, still I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah. I didn't like, I just plan. Okay, I'm just planning regarding about what kind of like a step should I supposed to do this thing. Okay, so basically is this thing now, what is at least stuff that I should supposed to do is that I just have to write down the every steps that ki, yeah, like before I went to Pune, what kind of like a something planning, like what kind of like a something person should I supposed to I need a kind of like a somebody Android developer. Okay, yeah. Then after that I have to build the app in iOS version 2. So I need a kind of like a somebody person who is build the app for iOS version 2. Like basically I'm kind of like a making the app for Android version, because I am accessing this Android Studio and that's it. Okay, yeah. For the iOS version I won't be able to access because I don't really have any iOS gadget or iOS laptop. So probably I won't be able to do that thing. But still is this thing I need a kind of like a somebody person who is kind of like a somebody build the app for iOS version 2. So yeah, so this is also another thing. And uh publishing this app is also really hectic too. Okay, yeah, because there is a lot of thing. Okay, like when you publish your app in the Play Store, you went through multiple stages. Okay, yeah. And probably that stages is also really brutal. And there is a lot of thing. Okay, yeah, regarding about the fucks and bugs, and you have to fix a lot of bugs and things like that. But I don't know. Yeah, but first thing first. Okay, yeah, I have to go to the Bombay. Sorry, I have to go to the Pune. Okay, yeah, and basically hired a Android developer. Okay, yeah. Try to make sure that she might be a kind of like a whoever the person that she would be, she or he would be, should be an expert in that particular field. Okay, yeah, because it's really essential for that particular thing. Um, how much people would you hire? Okay, yeah. Regarding about the money, like basically I have to give them salary, na, and basically it depends on how much I will afford. Okay, yeah. So one probably. Okay, yeah. I don't know, but yeah, this is kind of like a stuff that I should supposed to do. Okay, yeah. Now then, if you are kind of like earning some sort of amount of money, let's just say that you are getting some sort of sponsorship from YouTube content. Okay, yeah, and you are earning almost like maybe 10 to 15 lakh rupees per month. Okay, yeah. So in that particular process you have some sort of money. Okay, yeah. So you will gonna hire some sort of multiple people. Okay, Android developers and iOS developer to build the app for you, then how, like what kind of like a step that you should supposed to do. Okay, yeah, like right now you have almost like a 10 lakh rupees budget per month. Okay, yeah. So 10 lakh rupees per month. Okay, so first of all is that I just have to invest the every money that what is actually the my startup does really required. Okay, but I have to make sure that money should supposed to be spent well. Okay, yeah. Like I like still 10 lakh rupees is kind of like it's only very big amount of money that you think it is, but establish a business, it is like a really less amount of money. Okay, yeah. And maybe there are a lot of stuff that I have to be kind of like a spend, like regarding about the storage space and things and salary and things like that. Probably 10 lakh rupees is not really that much enough. Okay, yeah. But I will try my best to make sure that I will gonna hire kind of like a somebody best talent, as well as kind of like a somebody try to convince that they have to be work for this particular app. Office, probably one thing for sure is that I'm gonna thinking that my rented apartment would become my office. Okay, yeah. Like I won't be able to kind of like afford any kind of like a somebody office space, no. So my rented apartment would be a kind of like a somebody space that most of people will gonna came and do the work over there. Okay, yeah. If the Prashik is with me, it will be really helpful for me, because Prashik will gonna help me regarding about all those financial thing. And I will gonna make sure that the app will gonna like a app will kind of like a somebody work really fluent. Okay, yeah. Prashik will handle all the financial thing regarding about the budgets and things like that, and I have to kind of like make sure I have to focus on the quality of the experience of the customer. All right, yeah. But still there is also another problem too. Okay, first of all is that even if you are 10 lakh rupees per month, okay, still you're gonna face a lot of amount of problem. Okay, a problem is that you might not gonna earn any kind of like a money from this building app, nothing like your idea is really unique, it's really good, really great. Okay, but it's not kind of like a something that idea that you will gonna earn money. Okay, at least at the beginning. Okay, so and 10 lakh rupees is not that enough. Okay, and you're gonna face a lot of challenges, because let me tell you one thing, the artifact is a kind of like a something like a basically is this thing. First thing is that people should supposed to be record the artifact, and basically starting recording artifact is a kind of like a something very tough decision. Okay, it really required a kind of like a somebody that go inside your mindset and kind of like a convince them that you are kind of like a somebody add some sort of values inside of you, and artifact would kind of like a give that value. So it is really required kind of like a really amount of courage and beliefs and things like that. So probably is this thing that it depends on most, like more and more people should supposed to be record the artifact, and that is a kind of like a really big problem. Okay, because at the beginning very less amount of people will gonna record the artifact. Okay, so even if I build the app and all those things, and I will gonna hire all those people and things like that, the growth will be very less. Okay, it will not gonna kind of like somebody very exponential, nothing at all. It will be kind of like somebody just like very less and less. Okay, so if you have kind of like a showing very kind of like a somebody just a like a just less growth, then probably you will not gonna get funding and things like that. And probably you, if you are kind of like investing 10 lakh rupees per month from your social media content creation, then probably it's not even had enough too. Okay, but I have to be kind of like somebody think from that point of perspective na, like basically is a thing that I have to be work slow. Okay, instead of kind of like a go exponential and things like that, no, I have to be focus on one thing and try to improvise and try to make it good as possible as I can. Okay, it gives me some sort of breathing time. So yes, and like basically instead of hiring 100 people or 50 people, no, I'm gonna hire maybe like a one or two people probably, or maybe just max to max 10 people, that's it. Okay, because I in my rented apartment I don't really have that much space, so that I want to fit almost like a more than 50 people. No, yeah, okay, 10 people might gonna fit into my rented apartment, so that would be really good, and I'm not gonna hire that much amount of people. Okay, so yeah, but I'm gonna make sure that the 10 people that I'm gonna hire, 10-12 people that I'm gonna hire are really best of those. Okay, yeah, so that it will be kind of like something helpful for me. Yeah. Okay, yeah. uh when do you kind of like gain your growth? Okay, like after you build the app, okay, when would you kind of like gain some sort of growth in Artifact? Well, probably growth means like that key, like people will gonna start talking and recording. Yeah, it takes time. Okay, like basically like after maybe 3 to 4 year, like basically even if I make the app, it will take almost like a 3 to 4 year to maintain and survive and things like that. Okay, yeah, because I will not gonna gain any kind of like some growth for this period of time. Okay, after a 4 to 5 year, I might gonna gain some sort of growth, but till now, till then, I just have to be kind of like somebody be really consistent and be really focused on making this thing. And like yeah, marketing, should I like would you do marketing? Well, marketing, that is a one big advantage that I have is that I have social media channel. Okay, because I have social media channel and I'm kind of like a somebody have right now I have not really that much follower, but in the future I might gonna have that much follower. Okay, so if I have that much follower, I'm gonna kind of like a telling about my ideas and things like that, and people will gonna talk and people will gonna record this thing. So regarding about marketing, I'm gonna use my social media to market my app. Okay, yeah, at the initial level it kind of like something really good. Okay, yeah, the response might be something really good. So regarding about marketing, this might gonna something really work for me. Okay, yeah, but I will not gonna spend kind of like something money on marketing. Okay, yeah, why? Because of that na ki, like in the future I might gonna spend some sort of money in the market. Yeah, okay, yeah, but um at the beginning na, it is like a marketing cost so much, like literally so much amount of money that marketing costs. So probably I can't afford that. Okay, I can't afford that. Okay, yeah, so like basically like when will I supposed to market? Probably like after 5 year, 5 to 6 year, if I have like a so much amount, like if I'm gaining kind of like a so much amount of money from the app, or maybe kind of like a something I'm get funded by the investor and things like that, in that particular process, yeah, then I will gonna market, then I will kind of like a somebody pump up my process little bit. Okay, yeah, but yeah, when will you get the investor? Um another thing now. Okay, first of all, there is a one thing that I wanted to do. First of all is that ki since I kind of like somebody upload my app on Play Store or any kind of like somebody Apple App Store, I have to be patent. Okay, patent is a really essential thing, not for a kind of like a somebody growth for my country, growth for my kind of like app, but like let me tell you one thing why the patent is really essential. Okay, so this is kind of like a something idea that I'm kind of like a thinking about a lot of them. Okay, so basically is this thing that key Artifact, this is kind of like a stuff that I invented or whatever it is. Okay, it's a really good. Okay, people will gonna connect and people will gonna talk and things like that. Okay, it is like a basically, let's just imagine, okay, if that app will kind of like used by the millions of people. Okay, then what exactly happened that key I means like the chairman of the person or the app will control the millions of people of thought process. What do you mean by that? It means that now let me tell you one thing key Artifact episode, like the things that I'm actually recording this thing are kind of like a something penetrate directly in your head directly. Yeah, like basically it doesn't really require to do kind of like only watch and believe and things like that. No, it went directly into your head. Like a video will not gonna penetrate that much, or reels or any kind of like this will not gonna penetrate that much in your head, but Artifact is penetrate really that much. Like example, okay, that key I build the app and I ask a question to the people that key tell me regarding about what is actually your first time your sexual experience. Okay, and people will gonna talk about the sexual experience and things like that. Okay, millions of people will gonna talk about the sexual experience. Do you understand how much power is that? Like I'm just talking about just a millions of people. What if that number went to the million or billion? It went, yeah, okay, yeah. So basically is this thing na ki the artifact, the power of artifact is a kind of like something, it penetrates directly in your head, directly in your thought process. Okay, so like basically is this thing that na ki if I'm gonna ask question that ki what like a basically how do you experience when you first time you consume alcohol? Okay, yeah. And basically if I ask this question, millions of people will talk about the alcohol and things like that. And what is actually happening in the real world? In the real world, people are actually wanted to drink alcohol because it's that thing. Because when we are started talking about this thing now, somehow like if just say millions of people are kind of like a record the artifact regarding about the alcohol, in the millions, almost like a half of the millions of people will gonna drink the alcohol after that. And basically the half of million people are drinking alcohol is because of I asked this question into my app. Okay, yeah. So so it is that it is that much like basically it penetrate a lot. Okay, yeah. So it is like it is really essential um for kind of like something that ki use this app very cautiously, or very like basically like I'm bitterly scared regarding about there are, if the people are kind of like something, so many people are recording the artifact na. I know that the artifact is actually giving the so much values and things like that, but as well as artifact is also kind of like a something very very a wrong tool, literally very wrong tool. Like if this tool went into a kind of like a something very third man, then that person will gonna utilize this tool for like let me tell you one thing na ki it like I don't know, I'm kind of like over exaggerating things, but I think that ki this artifact that I created is equivalent to almost like a nuclear bomb, probably. Okay, yeah. Like, what do you mean by that? Like a nuclear bomb is a kind of like it like I'm just kind of like over exaggerate things like that. But what I'm trying to tell you, like regarding about the experience that I've told you. Okay, yeah. Obviously artifact is a kind of like a somebody upgrade your thought process, added values and things like that inside of you. That is true, that is 100% true. I will gonna guarantee it will gonna happen. Okay, yeah. But it depends on how do you record the artifact, from what is the perspective of this thing and that thing. Okay, yeah. But if you are using your artifact for wrong purposes, then it might gonna kind of like a something devastating result. Okay, yeah. Because as I mentioned earlier, artifact episode went directly into your brain head. Okay, yeah, inside of you. And let me tell you one thing, the brain is your biggest friend, or like a biggest ally, or greatest enemy. And this is what exactly is it. Okay, the artifact would be a kind of like a something really, really good, or like a really devastating. So this is kind of like a something that. So regarding about, I am make sure that my app will gonna kind of like a something not gonna use for any kind of like a some bad stuff, or any kind of like a something that ki devastating stuff. Okay, like I'm making sure that ki wrong thing will not gonna happen, but it will gonna happen. Okay, because it's an artifact, it's a thought process. Everyone thinks very differently, and everyone will kind of like do things very utilizing this app very differently too. So yeah, so regarding about how do I like why do I start patent? Okay, yeah. So if I do patent, means like that ki I will have entire rights to how do I supposed to execute this app, because I have experience of recording this app for almost like a decade and things like that. I understand the value of what is exactly the consequences, because I've been through all those things, so I understand that. Okay, yeah. So I think I am a kind of like a somebody credible person to kind of like a use, I am credible person to understand how do I supposed to execute this app with really right way, as much as I could do this thing. If I don't really do patent, then what will gonna happen that ki other people will gonna app it, other people will gonna make the same app like me. Okay, yeah. And if they do, I don't really have any control, and people will gonna start talking, and the people who control those app will gonna utilize this app for very wrong purpose, and the destruction will gonna happen probably. Okay, yeah. So like still I'm kind of like over exaggerating stuff, but I don't want to take any chances. Okay, so basically, if I do patent, means like that key. If I do rights, that means that key. The process of recording the artifact is a patent of me. Then probably no will gonna make the app like me, and no will gonna kind of like something that do that stuff. Okay, yeah. So so basically, I have to do patent. Okay, yeah. So as soon as I launch my app, I have to go to the New York or London, maybe New York. Okay, yeah. Basically, New York or London has a kind of like some patent. Okay, yeah. Means like you have to patent your style or your invention or things like that, so that people will not gonna kind of like something utilize your invention for wrong purposes. All right, yeah. So this is the first of that I will gonna do. Okay, yeah. And then probably is this thing when the app will kind of like flourish and things like that. So yeah. When you earn like a 10 lakh rupees, what will gonna do? Well, probably like how do you get the investor first? Okay, how do you get the investor? Regarding about getting the investor, uh, I just probably kind of like a something I don't know. Yeah, regarding about how do I supposed to get the investor, I don't really have any idea. But I like if I'm kind of like a lack of funding, I will go to the Shark Tank. Okay, yeah. Shark Tank is a kind of like a somethingly event or whatever it is. There are multiple investors over there. Okay, which has almost like a millions amount of money over there. Okay, yeah. And they will gonna spend some sort of amount of money in our kind of like a somebody is this thing, but I have to be convinced them. I have to be convinced them regarding about my app, what is at least this thing and how we're gonna this thing and that. Okay, yeah. What if like some of the investors are really good and really wanted to invest like a millions amount of money, millions of dollar amount of money into your app. Okay, yeah. But instead of that, he just want a kind of like a something some sort of share. Okay, yeah. Would you do that? Um, Regarding about what's a share? Okay, I don't know. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not really good at business, but I know a little bit about that. Okay, so what is a share? A share means like that key, like basically is this thing how much like you own that thing. Like basically, if I build this artifact app, how much I own that app. Okay, how much like not only app but as also all those things like yeah everything. Okay, yeah, like regarding about this thing and that. So how much I own. Okay, so at the beginning, yeah, probably if I'm doing this thing and I have kind of like a simply all those things like I'm doing this 2015 and things like that. So rightfully I am 100% owner of that. But this will not gonna happen. Like if you went to the investor and things like that, they will gonna ask some sort of amount of share. Okay, like a 1%, 2% or 3%. So what we're gonna do? If I found or if I get any kind of like some investor who would invest kind of like some millions amount of money, and instead of that he was asking that key some sort of share. Okay, yeah. First of all, I just have to understand that key what is actually the proposition and the value of the share and what will gonna happen if that share will gonna kind of like increase a bit more. Then how do I supposed to do that thing? uh Okay. Regarding about the share. Okay. So if some sort of investor is asking me like a share, so how much share would I give him? The ownership, how much percentage of ownership that I will gonna give him? Um. Okay. So first of all is that ki I just have to understand. I just have to figure it out that ki if I kind of like a simply spend ownership to the multiple people, what will gonna happen? Okay, yeah. So first of all is that ki if I spend my ownership to the multiple investor. Okay, yeah. Um, like multiple investor means like that na ki let's just example that ki I have like a 50% of ownership. Okay, yeah, 51% of ownership, and rest of the ownership, like a rest of 50% ownership, are kind of like a simply base for all the investor. Okay, yeah. So basically what is actually happened, that the decision will gonna kind of like a simply implement by the all those board member. Okay, yeah. So basically the board member will gonna decide regarding about the app and things like that, and how this app will kind of like do that thing and things like that. Okay, yeah. Regarding about all those board member are businessman or business person. Okay, yeah. And they are kind of like a thinking this artifact is a kind of like a simply business, and they wanted to flourish that business, so they wanted to do the all the things that they wanted to do the artifact which should supposed to be grow. Okay, yeah. And they will gonna ask, like they will gonna do all those crazy shit that should supposed to be not, like example. Okay, yeah. So grow means what? Okay, like basically how does app will gonna grow? App will gonna grow is because of that the multiple people will gonna record the artifact, or multiple people will gonna listen the artifact. Okay, yeah. Both will gonna happen in the future, definitely both will gonna happen. Okay, yeah. But it depends on kind of like a simply how much kind of like a simply good or how much exciting it is. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing: a human are we are humans. Okay, yeah. This app is meant for human. Okay, yeah. And basically example is this thing: in my app I will gonna ask a question regarding about sexual or things like that. This question are really interesting, people will gonna talk, people will gonna listen, so engagement in my app is more. That means the growth of my app is also more. Okay, yeah. If this thing happened, the investor is earning so much amount of money, so that means this is a kind of like a simply formula they're gonna use again and again, like a use a sexual things or something like that. Okay, yeah. If that thing happened, then probably is this thing my app which kind of like a simply became a kind of like a something people will gonna talk about just a sexual stuff or any kind of like a something stuff that just people wanted to listen and talk. Okay, like basically the main purpose of this artifact is kind of like a simply added values or things like that. It will not gonna happen because like the purpose of just for a business. Okay, yeah. So if my app is not kind of like a something adding any value to the people, then what is actually meaning of growing? Okay, yeah. Asking sexual things or sexual questions is not a good. Yeah, it add some sort of engagement into my app, but that engagement is not really good. Okay, and as also the people who is recording the artifact, they also went to the very terrible situation. Okay, as I mentioned, artifact is kind of like a get into directly in your head, directly went into the inside, so it is like a really fucked up thing to do. Okay, because the how does people will gonna use this app is depend on who is kind of like owning the app. Okay, yeah. So regarding about the ownership, I don't know in the future what will gonna happen, or what kind of like a investor or what kind of like a money that they will gonna invest. I have to make sure that the entire ownership, like basically at least 90% of the ownership should supposed to be on me. Okay, yeah, 90%. Okay, yeah. And 10% would be ownership kind of like a something distribute towards all those investors and things like that. At the moment I'm thinking like that. In the future I'm not really sure what will gonna happen, but like basically if I have 90% of ownership, then I have control over my app, and what is actually meant for them, meant for kind of like a customer, or meant for kind of like customer to or add some sort of values and things like that, I will gonna do that thing. Okay, yeah. But still, okay, yeah, like I'm not like basically I have to be kind of like a somebody open up for all those possible result. Okay, like not all the investor are kind of like a somebody very like craving for money and things like that, so I have to be figure it out. Okay, I have to figure it out, the talking about the investor and all those board member and things like that, because another thing is that na ki I will not gonna do those things for rest of the lifetime. Okay, yeah, because I have to make my movies too. Okay, yeah. And I have to be kind of like somebody establish other business too, because yeah, I have my mind and I have thinking about that and things like that. And artifact is not the thing that I will gonna focus for the rest of my lifetime, nothing really at all. So probably is this thing that ki I don't know, First thing, I don't know regarding about the ownership and things like that, but it depends on the future probably. Okay, because I don't know what will gonna happen now, but still I just have to make sure that what will things. But patent is a thing, one of the important thing that I will gonna do. Okay, yeah. And ownership is still kind of like a something that I have to figure it out regarding about the percentage or 90 percentage or 85 percentage or 80% or 70%. I'm not really sure. Another thing is that key regarding about the ownership. Okay, yeah. If the Prashik is kind of like somebody helping me regarding about building this app and things like that, till now I haven't really asked him, but if he is helping me, he would be kind of like somebody work as a CFO in my company, and probably 4% of ownership is, yeah, to the Prashik. Okay, yeah, because basically it's this thing I know that ki, like if the Prashik is helping me from the beginning, that means like there is a lot of problem and he will gonna face this thing. So yeah, Prashik or Prachi. Okay, yeah. If the Prashik is not really ready, because CFO is not a kind of like a somebody position that you think it is always be happy and good. No, I'm talking about the startup, means like that always have problems, always went to the stress and things like that. So if the Prashik or Prachi might be okay, yeah. If the Prashik is not ready, then Prachi would be a kind of like a some CFO or things like that. But whatever, it's on the future. But 4% is kind of like something for those people. I don't know. But yeah, regarding about the risk, these are some of the risk and these are some sort of problems that I will gonna face in the future. But do you kind of like think too much? Like basically, it's like you haven't really made an app. You haven't really did anything at all. You just record the artifact and you just thinking about the share market and ownerships and these and patent, and it's just like you are thinking too much. Like do you really believe that the idea that you have is like so good that people will gonna record and billions of people will gonna record? It just like ask yourself, dude, there are like basically hundreds of social media channel, and what makes it kind of like something very different? Like basically just example like a Clubhouse. Okay, yeah. Clubhouse is a kind of like something similar example of your app. Okay, yeah. In the Clubhouse, people are also meant to be share their thoughts, but in a very different way, kind of like something that key a Zoom meeting type. Okay, like a Zoom meeting video, the people who kind of like a somebody talk about meeting exactly like this thing. Okay, yeah. So and that app is kind of like a something in this platform for almost like a 5 year. Like I seen this app which launched maybe in 2000, I'm not really sure, but it's just like that I seen this app since 5 year, and this is kind of like only something like social media, and it's not really that much grown, by the way. Okay, yeah. So like basically your idea is not really that much kind of like a something that you think it is. Okay, it's not really that big. Okay, yeah. Or it is, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, but one thing for sure, it add value inside of me. And but dude, yeah, other apps will add value in their life too. Yeah, what is that this thing? I don't know. Yeah, thinking about the future, there is kind of like a simply the I have to be kind of like a hope for the best and prepare for the worst. That's it. Okay, yeah. I just have to be kind of like a born for this purpose, so I just have to live with that purpose. That's it. Okay, yeah. And I will gonna be a succeed. Okay, I'm not really sure succeed or not, but I will gonna try. I fail, I try, I fail, I try. This is life that I chose, and I'm gonna do this thing. Whatever. So this is it. This is it. It's been almost like a 1 hour. So thank you.